Okay, so now it's the summer of 2000. I've been acquitted of this case. So I am committed into the Department of Mental Health for treatment, further treatment. They feel I need further treatment at this point. So I stay in the mental health facility for a few years, and some of my paperwork starts circulating, and some of these people that work in these facilities are like retired judges, federal warrant magistrates, people of that nature and that education. They basically form a team of psychiatrists and legal experts, and they determine that they don't want to continue to hold me. They would never say anything on the record, but what they would say would be things such as that something's not right with this case, something's wrong here. They would say on the record that it sounds like he was just drugged up. One lady who worked there, she was a mental health worker. She said off the record that everybody knows what happened to you. You were drugged up and they took advantage of you. The sad part is I don't know if they were talking about the index event or if they're talking about when I was put in the mental hospital. The Tuscaloosa County authorities looked at the case and they became suspicious. A federal judge ultimately ruled that on the side of the Department of Mental Health and the Tuscaloosa County attorney that I should be released. Initially, at my release, I thought, oh great, this nightmare is finally over. And I moved to another state to get away from this follower of Satan and his influence of lies, his team of deceptive liars. So apparently that wasn't enough for him. The home invasion, the beatings, the fraudulent incarceration, him bearing false witness against me, that wasn't enough for him. He was calling out to me, and keep in mind, I moved to a different state to get away from him. He was calling out to people associated with me, making threats. And him and another person who I'm not going to mention have called out here since and made threats that they were going to come out here and get me. Well, honestly, myself, personally, I don't take anything these people say seriously. They have no credibility as far as I'm concerned. But unfortunately, some people do. So now this person, this follower of Satan, this self-proclaimed follower of Satan, is calling out from a different state. He's making up lies. He's trying to smear my name. So at this point, I go to the local authorities and I get a restraining order. So now this follower of Satan, this police impersonator, this stalker, is now working for a local sheriff's department in that state. So now I'm just at a loss of words, and I'm just gonna pray for the best for these poor people, pray for the best for them. So as for me, I filed the restraining order. They sent it to the sheriff's department where he was employed at, and they claim that they tried to serve him this restraining order 3 separate times, but they were unable to serve it successfully, and they sent it back to me. So that's how cooperative they were with me when I was trying to get some protection from this predator. So here we are, we're in January 2004. You know, the home invasion wasn't enough for him, the beatings, the fraudulent incarceration. And he's been notified that I don't want him to contact me, I don't want him to come around me, I don't want anything to do with him. I'm sure there was somebody at the sheriff's department that worked with him that let him know that I wanted him to leave me alone and not to contact me either directly or indirectly. And he did leave me alone for a few years, but it seems recently, like in the past year, He had called to a place that he knows that I frequent, and there was a phone that is a speakerphone, and he made a taunting threat on that speakerphone. He said, even though he lives in another state, that he said that he was in the area and that he was working. So he's alluding to the criminal event that occurred earlier, and he's stating that it's possible that it could happen again. So he's threatening me. He is also circulating unsubstantiated claims. I don't know if this is true or not, but he claims to be a narcotics investigator now. I'd like to say that's unfathomable, but knowing what I know about law enforcement community, I just can't, I wouldn't put it past, them to use someone like this as a narcotics officer. I just, couldn't rule that out, knowing what I know about them. Keep in mind, there's more than one witness that at one point in his life, he was a police impersonator. So I thought to myself, I'm not an attorney. I don't have the money for an attorney. But what a better way to make a public record that I want to be left alone. I want a restraining order. I want this person not to contact me. And either directly or indirectly, please leave me alone and don't bother me. I don't plan on bothering you or anyone else. Just please leave me alone. I'll leave you alone. What a better way of putting that on the public record than just putting it on video and uploading it to the internet. So that's exactly what I'm doing. I don't know the legal weight of this restraining request, but it is public and it couldn't be any less credible than some that I filed before.